Okay, welcome back, Ben, to your lesson in mathematics. And this time we are going to subtract decimals. In our previous lessons, we have added decimals. Now this time we're gonna subtract. Now how do we subtract decimals? First is align all the decimal point, then subtract just like whole numbers. Okay. Again, how to subtract decimals? Very important. When you arrange the decimals, you have to align all the decimal point and subtract just like whole numbers. Now we're gonna have just 5 examples. Let's start from number 1. Let's start first for the 6.52. Minus 18.43. Now, to answer this, let's first arrange the decimals in column, aligning their decimal point. Let's do that. We have here 46.52 minus 18.43. Now, it's very important that we must align all decimal point so that we're gonna have the correct place value in every digit. Now let's start. 2 minus 3. We're gonna subtract just like whole numbers. Now 2 minus 3 is cannot be. Why? Because 3 here is greater than 2. Now what are we going to do to answer this? 2 here must borrow 1 from 5. Okay? So let's start. Let's do that. 5 here will become 4 and put 1 here, so 2 becomes now 12. Okay, now 2 here is no longer 2 but 12 because we have borrowed 1 from 5. We can now subtract 12 minus 3, that's 9. Now 5 here is no longer 5 but 4 because 2 borrowed 1 from it. Now 4 minus 4 is 0. Next are the decimal point. Now let's subtract again. Let's proceed. Continue. 6 minus 8 cannot be because 8 here is greater than 6. So what we're going to do is that 6 again will borrow 1 from 4. 4 will now be 3, while 6 will become 16. So we can subtract. 16 minus 8 is 8. Then 3 minus 1. So for our answer, that's 58.0. Let's have some more example. Let's have example number 2. $36.436 minus 55.459. 55.459. So we are now subtracting decimal number. I have arranged this horizontally so that we can arrange that them in column. So let's arrange them. 36.436. But you have to be sure that you have to align their decimal point. So 25 here, decimal point aligned to the other decimal point, and 459. And by that, we can subtract now. So we're going to subtract from right to left, just like whole numbers. So let's start. Now 6 minus 9 cannot be, because 9 here is greater than 6. So what are we going to do is that 6 is going to borrow 1 from 3. Now 3 here will become 2, and 16 will become 9. Okay, so we can now subtract. 16 minus 9 is 7. Let's proceed. 3 here is no longer 3 but 2. So 2 minus 5 cannot be, because 5 is greater than 2. So again, 2 is going to borrow 1 from 4. Now 4 here will become 3, and 2 will become 12. So we can now subtract. 12 minus 5 is 7. Let's proceed. Now 3 minus 4 cannot be, because 4 here is greater than 3. So again, the same process. 3 is going to borrow 1 from 6. Now 6 here will become 5, and 3 will become 13. So we can now subtract. 13 minus 4 is 9. And decimal point. Very important. So let's proceed. Now 5 minus 5 is 0. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So for our final answer, that's 10.177. Let's have example number 3. Let's have 18.200 minus 13.699. 13.699. Okay, so to answer this, let's arrange first the decimal numbers into a column. Then very important, we're gonna align their decimal point. Okay, let's do that. So copy this. 18.200 and copy this. 13.699. So the decimal point here are aligned with each other. We can now subtract. So let's start. Now 0 minus 9 cannot be, because 9 is greater than 0. So what are we going to do is that we're gonna 0 here is going to borrow from 0 here. But of course, 0 cannot get borrow 0 here because it has no value. So what will happen is that 0 here is going to borrow 1 from 2. Okay, so that's going to happen. So 2 here will become 1. And 0 here will become 10. It's no longer 0 but 10 already. So by that, 0 now here can borrow now 1 from 10. So 10 here will become 9, and 0 will become 11. So we can now subtract. So 10 minus 9 is 1. So this is no longer 0 but 9, because we have borrowed 1 from 2. So 9 minus 9 is 0. Let's continue. So 2 here is no longer 2 but 1, because 0 borrowed 1 from it. And let's subtract. 1 minus 6 cannot be, because 6 is greater than 1. So what are we going to do? 1 here is going to borrow 1 from 8. Now 8 here will become 7, and 1 here will become 11. So now subtract. 11 minus 6 is 5. And decimal point. Now it's no longer 8 but 7, because we have borrowed 1. Now 7 minus 3 is 4. And 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay? So For our answer is, that's 4.501. Let's have example number 4. Let's have 54.20 minus 8.35. 8.35. Subtracting decimals, the same procedure. Just arrange the decimal number in column. Let's do that. 54.20 minus 8 will be here, so that each decimal point is aligned to this decimal point. And calculate the time. Okay, so we can now subtract. Let's do that. Starting from right to the left. 0 minus 5 cannot be, because 5 is greater than 0. So we cannot subtract. So what are we going to do? 0 here is going to borrow 1 from 2. Now 2 here will become 1. And 0 will become 10. Because we borrowed 1 from 2. So we're going to subtract. Now 10 minus 5 minus 5. Let's proceed. 1. Because 2 here is no longer 2 but 1. Because we have borrowed 1 from it. Now 1 minus 3 cannot be. So what will happen is that we get 1 is going to borrow 1 from 4. Now 4 here will be 3 and 1 will be 11. So we're going to subtract. Now 11 minus 3, that's 8. And decimal point must be aligned with each other. Now 3. Now 3 minus 8 cannot be, because 8 is greater than 3. So the same procedure, it cannot be, just borrow 1 from the next digit. So 3 here is going to borrow 1 from 5. 5 will become 4, while 13 will become 8. Okay? So 13 minus 8 is 5. And bring down 4. Okay? So therefore for our final answer, it's 45.85. Okay? So let's have as example. Example number 5. 100 minus 18.25. Okay, subtracting decimals. So the same process, just arrange the decimal numbers in column, aligning all their decimal point. Let's do that. Copy 100 here, 0.00, and 18 here, 0.25. Subtract. Let's do that one by one. Now 0 minus 5, of course, cannot be, because 0 has no value and 5 is greater than 0. So what are we going to do? So 0 here must borrow 1 from 0. But of course, it cannot give 1 because it has no value. Now, what it's going to do is that 0 is going to borrow 0 here. And the same, it cannot give 1 to the 0 here because it has no value. So 0 here must borrow 1 from the 0 here. But the same, it cannot let 0 here borrow 1 from it because it has no value. So what will happen is that 0 is going to borrow 1 from 1 here. So 1 here will become 0. And 0 will become 10. So this 0 here can now borrow 1 from 10. So 10 will become 9. And 0 here will become 10. In the same process, Now 0 here is going to borrow 1 from 10 here. So 10 here will become 9 and 0 here will become 10. So 0 here can now borrow 1 from this 10. So 10 here will be 9 and 0 here will become 10. So we can subtract now. Now 10 minus 5, that's 5. Next, these are no longer 0 but 9. So 9 minus 2, 7. Next, decimal point. Next, 9 minus 8, that's 1. 9 minus 1 is 8 and 0. So our final answer is 81.75. So that's how you subtract decimal then. Just first is you arrange the number in column, align all their decimal point, just subtract just like whole numbers. Okay, just borrow 1 from the next digit if the answer is cannot be. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you for your time, Ben. See you again next lesson.